Hi, everyone. Erica Durance here with my wonderful co-star, Jordan Young.
Hi guys.
Hi, Jordan. We are so excited for you all to see our new movie, A Scottish Love Scheme. It's part of New Movies New Year, and Hallmark has offered us a couple of questions to give us some tidbits that we can kind of sprinkle out there for you, get you excited about the movie. So why don't we get started?
Let's do it.
Okay.
So,
So the first question is for me. It's talking about my character. So my character Lily travels all the way to Scotland, and it's with her mother and her. They do this annual journey every year. And what the question is how does it help her move past her recent heartbreak? And I had to think about this a little bit because there's a bunch of reasons. But I think it's because it's something that she did every year with her mom, and it's sentimental and it's fun and it's beautiful. And she loves Scotland and she feels free, and it's a new landscape. And then she gets to spend time with old family friends that she's seen since she was a little kid. And so also she has a little sneaky adventure plan for herself. But it just helps her get over that little bit, that time space that's a little bit hard.
good answer.
Is that
Good
a good answer?
answer.
I think Hallmark will approve. And
Yeah.
it gets a little bit of a tidbit. Okay, I'm going to put you in the hot seat now. Ready?
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
While traveling to Scotland, Lily runs into her childhood friend, Logan. Tell us more about their reunion, Jordan.
Well, Logan and Lily have known each other for years, a long time. And I think it's fair to say that there may have been a spark back in their younger days that
We
may have been
spark,
a little one, may have been acted on, may have not, probably not.
probably
Through,
not.
let's say not.
I think
Um,
she's a little intimidated by him. So
I
I think
think it's
that's
the
what
other way
happened.
about. I think that Logan's scared of a strong woman, and Lily is a strong woman, and I think so. When Lily comes back, both their circumstances have changed dramatically. Their adult circumstances, which leaves a little gateway open to explore, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think that's. I think we probably know where it's going, but I won't say any more.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Do you want to ask me something?
So your question is
Okay.
Lily's mum Kate and Logan's mum Mary have come up with a plan to set up our characters.
Mm.
Mhm. So how does their meddling mothers affect Lily and Logan's relationship?
Try to say that a bunch of times. Meddling mothers. It's very difficult.
Meddling mothers.
First
The
of all,
good
our
comma.
actresses, Joe and Juliet, when they play this, they stole every scene. They were so funny. Like all their wink, wink, nudges that they did. And we were having these like heartfelt moments, and they're
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
like, giggling away. And it was just like, they're so good.
yeah.
And as mothers do, I think in all lives, I'm included in that a little bit. We have a moment like we're a little impatient. We nag a little bit. We want to push things along. And so what they did was kind of push something that probably would have maybe gelled out on its own. It might have taken, I don't know, Jordan, like our character's like 5 years for it to happen.
I said 6, but yeah, let's go with 5.
But they set up a couple of little happenstance meetings. They got us chatting about innocuous business stuff. They kind of tried to shove us in the same room. Sometimes they were subtle, sometimes not so subtle.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed playing that as a character, like noticing when my mom was getting a little pushy, when she wasn't getting pushy about it all. But I think because we'd both been through something quite traumatic in very different ways, like our characters maybe weren't really ready. Like, you get to that point where something goes awry and you're like, I think I'm good being alone. I feel ancient. And so I would have gone on my little like solo walks. I don't know why I air quoted solo walks, but I would have gone on like wandering through the moors of Scotland by myself for weeks and weeks. And so I think they kind of pushed it along.
I think so. I think Lily was more had more pressure put on her than Logan. I think maybe Logan did, but Logan has got a lot going on in the movie.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of work stress.
You have fun pressure from your brothers, which I love the relationship with your brothers. Like
Yeah,
they
they're
tease
brilliant.
you and stuff.
Yeah, brilliant. James and Jack just couldn't have been better cast.
Yeah.
Actually, they were brilliant. So I think Logan is more unaware of the pressure that's getting put on by the mothers, particularly his own mother. Either that, or he's not very aware of the setup that's going on.
He might
He's
not be,
quite
but he's also a wee bit shy, which I kind of like. See, now I'm starting to think I'm Scottish. He's a wee bit shy. That happened in one of our first meetings, and I think that's the fun thing between Lily and Logan, is that she kind of pushes him a little bit. She's like, "Hello."
Yeah.
Chat, But then when he finally does turn to look at her and focuses on her, she's like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
So,
I think his brothers even are the ones that are like, "Hey, look at this, look at this." I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think she's. Do you think she is?
yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, I like that. Okay, is this me or you now?
Oh, next question.
Uh,
Well, this is probably this is for us
me.
both.
This is for us both. Okay, do you want to take the lead on this one? Go for it.
Okay, let's go. So
I like it when you take the
when
lead. Go ahead.
when Lily and Logan are reconnecting, she helps his family business with a marketing campaign. What characteristics do we like about each of our characters as they learn to work together? Ooh, right.
Well, I think I started off with the moment. Sorry. Go.
No. You saved
This
me.
is exactly how we work together, too, everybody. Go ahead, Jordan, and then Erica takes over. No, I'm mouth is shut. Go.
No. This is when Jordan wants, please, Erica, you do the acting. Please, you do it. You do it.
Okay, so I think what was fun for at least Lily to see is that she's always taken charge of things, and she's been in charge of things, and she's had to be in charge of her life and everything that's going on, and she's kind of had to kind of go into the more masculine side of herself, if that makes sense, and just be. She hasn't had to rely on anyone, and there was something inherently very masculine that you infused in your character. So when we got into the working business and we would kind of have the back and forth, and I would add some ideas and stuff like that. What I enjoyed was just how very male you were. It was like it was great. And I don't know how else to say it, but as a character, as an actress, everything, I was just like, okay, this guy's taking charge. I'm going to just like add some advice, but he knows what he's doing. He's running his family's business. He's great at it. It's just that, he's come up against something that's a bit challenging. And actually, in the way that the moms try to like kind of push the thing, I think he handles it very admirably, because I am kind of shoehorned a little bit into something that's kind of hard for you at the time. So I thought you were really classy with it too.
Oh, lovely. Well, thank you very much. It was all in the writing. Well, likewise, in that you were shoehorned in at the dinner table scene where it's thrust upon you, and Lily's clearly very good at her job,
right,
and and she is on holiday, she is on vacation, so it should. Hey, look at me, listen, an American word, vacation. I would say holiday, but I'm going to go with vacation. Yes, a little bit of American there. So. She's tentatively, she clearly wants to help but doesn't want to push in. She doesn't want to take over, and I think it's handled beautifully in that way of, I'll help but as much as you need me. And then Logan clearly needs a lot.
Well, and then they have a lot of fun too. Like, it allows them to kind of find themselves again, because everything was very like stilted at first and awkward, and we hadn't seen each other a while, and we've been through so much stuff. And then all of a sudden we started to have a lot more fun when we were working on this little project where we kind of could be kind of the third party to it and not really focus on, are we attracted to each other? Is something happening?
Yeah.
Like, and the work. That's what we're here for, Yeah. So I think that actually helped. It broke the ice a bit.
Definitely. I think that's when Logan started relaxing, because he had this work problem so much just here, nipping away. And as soon as he gets a beautiful woman to help his work situation, he's like, he's winning at life, isn't he? Really,
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, what's the next one?
I'll let you take that one. I'm going to let you take
that one.
Yeah.
And it says Erica in the third person. Erica, this is the first time we are starring together in a Hallmark movie. So this is the first time you and I, Jordan, are starring in a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
How was it working with each other and the rest of the cast? Let's see. What was our first day? I'd love to remember our first scene. I think we dived into like our first like nervous romantic nose to nose, like steamy little moment. And it was like our first scene together.
Yeah, yeah.
As you,
I had the. You guys had one day or a full morning of. I think you had lots and lots of dialogue, and it was you and the mothers, but I can't remember fully. And then I came on and had that tiny little scene outside when I'm taking the bags out the car with no
yes.
dialogue. So I was really nervous. First day of the shoot, and you're like, well, they're easing me in. I was like a little extra, a little supporting artist in the back with my bags, and then it was, boom, scene where the first meet and that awkward thing at the door, and there
Which was
was
awkward,
awkward.
genuinely.
Yeah, awkward is going, wow, here's the start of a 3-week shoot and a love story, and I'm awkward. Jordan is awkward. But I have to say, in all seriousness, you were phenomenal to work with. And I said this to you at the time that at the end of the shoot, I learned so much working with you, so much. And it was brilliant to just watch Erica just use all her experience, and it was a real eye opener for me in the best possible way of working with somebody that had that much class and ability and could understand the whole machinations of the entire film, rather than just working as an actor, just doing an actor's role. You had almost a producer's head on, a director's head on. It was fascinating. So it was joyous.
Well, thank you. You were also very gracious. I think that, being in this medium and having done it a bunch, I already could see certain little things that were like, oh, this is going to be a problem. We're going to be 5 hours behind.
Yeah.
And luckily, Heather was very sweet about me, like kind of interjecting little moments or kind of seeing stuff that I didn't think would be necessarily would work or be efficient. But what I really liked about it as well is that, like, you and we would come over to the side. We'd be like, okay, this thing is coming up. How do you feel about it? How do I feel about it? And we had a collaboration. That doesn't always happen on sets. It doesn't. Sometimes people don't like to talk about their work. They don't like to mix it. They don't want anything to change. And I felt like you were like, okay, let's dig in. And so we particularly had that partnership, which very, very much helped. And then you've got Juliet and Joe, and everybody was so good. And I know we say these on these things a lot. Like, I can hear myself sounding like I'm maybe being inauthentic, but really for me as the, Canadian American actress coming in and working with a group of European actors that are used to working in theater, and you guys have seen each other on other sets. Like, it was such a warm feeling. And I don't know if the guys felt this way, but I felt like they just slid into set. They were so funny, and they made it look really easy. And there were moments that were not particularly easy.
Yeah, I think
so when you're under the
James,
gun like that, it's like, it's pretty fast. It's 15 days. Like, sometimes people forget when they watch these movies, they're comparing them to a movie where somebody's worked for 2 years and they've, like, I don't know, been practicing an accent and living in Rome for a year and a half, versus you get the call, you're working 2 weeks later and it's over in 3 weeks. So it's a cool way of working.
And that's what I think I remember saying to you as well, that because James in particular, he's been a friend of mine for 22, 23 years. So I know James really, really well. So I felt anchored and safe knowing James. And Juliet, I know her very, very well. Again,
you work on the same
20
show.
years, we're on the same show. So I had almost, and a lot of the crew I've worked with over the years. So I felt quite safe in that respect. And then you were coming in from, overseas. It was so difficult, and you're leading the show. But I sometimes forgot how difficult that would be for you. But not that it showed that it was difficult, and that was part of your professionalism in class. You just like took it in your stride.
I cried in my apartment at night. No. No, it was like a really warm environment. And I've been to ones that are pretty stilted and pretty cold. And I have to say too, I found, like, the Scottish crew and everything, like, everybody over there was so chill and so much fun. And an aside, when I found out that Mick was the DP, I was so nervous. Does everybody know who that guy is? I've been putting it everywhere. So this is the man who's done 4 Weddings and a Funeral and Sense and Sensibility and Love Actually and, like, all my favorite movies of all time. And I was like, he's looked at Julia Roberts. And, like, now yes, look at me doing homework.
How often did we say that?
In
Like,
my set, I was like, oh,
you
no
know, he would come
pressure.
up, he'd pick off a hair or something on someone's shoulder, or say, "Oh, could we just move that a little bit of fluff there," and then walk away. Then Erica would be obviously. I keep using your word, Erica. This is meant to be just the both of us, isn't it? I keep saying, I'm talking because I'm.
Well, it's easier to observe someone else sometimes, right?
Yeah,
Than to talk about yourself. Like you were
but
super, super gracious.
it was, and you walk away and you go, he did that to Julia Roberts. He's worked with Emma Thompson, and he's just picked a hair off my shoulder. Yeah, it was he was
I'm
pretty
gonna
cool.
tell you guys, like on the last day of shooting, we were shooting on this bridge, having a little like romantic moment, and I personally was having like a full circle moment because I had grown up watching all those movies all over, like all those period pieces. I was like, I cannot believe I'm doing the same thing. Like I was so excited. And something was bugging Mick, and then he comes out from like the video village and he's just staring at my face and staring. Now I feel more comfortable around him. And then he's like, come on over. And he calls him over. He's like, here, right there, right there, right there. And they couldn't find it. And he was like, And I was like, pull it, Mick. Come on. Over here. Pull it. And he did. And I was like, yes. It was like, it was one of the highlights of the movie.
Yeah, like
Jordan is not lying. I was like, he pulled my hair. It was fantastic.
That should be a credit on IMDb alone. Mick pulled my hair.
I was like, I got that much closer to like Julia and Alan Rickman. And like, sorry, Mick, but it was like kind of a 6th degree of separation. Yeah, wow, I'm talking to
he never pulled my hair, so I won't get that credit. But you know.
But he did look at you a lot.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Okay. So that's like a long-winded way of saying we really liked working together.
Absolutely loved it.
We had fun.
A great. I think we laughed a lot, and if you can laugh a lot at your work, I think it takes away tension, and people get their. I find personally the creatively, it works better if you can have fun. I think I really do.
And
on
that's
that,
on that note, where are we at? Let's see. Oh, Jordan, this is you.
Oh, now I'm biased at this, but it's true. The scenery in this movie is beautiful. Do we have a favourite scene that we enjoyed filming the most while we were in Scotland? I've got two.
Okay, go you. And
I think the church for the end scene is stunning. Absolutely stunning. I think it's a place called Humby, tiny little village, I think. We had to drive, it's off the beaten track, we had to drive there. But remember, because I think, Heather obviously had done the recce with Mick, etc. But when we all saw it, we're like, wow, this was special. It was so beautiful. Yeah.
I felt like every time we got to a new location, there's one of the last days we did the beach, and they found this hidden beach somewhere that, if you're a tourist, you don't find. That's the other thing about working on location and films and stuff. You end up going to these places that, unless you live there, you would never really find. And it was this beautiful beach. And then there was like this rock outcropping, which for me, you go to a beach, there's an ocean. And, I live in Vancouver, so they're everywhere. But there was something so wild about Scotland. And so it had this outcropping of these like rocks, and it looked so isolated and desolate. And it was just like, it was very, very haunting and very cool. And I just thought, oh, look at that. I get kind of like dropped into the front of that. It's so it's so great. So that was one of my favorite places. I also want to say that, like, working in the cottage, we did a bunch of work in the cottage, and this one home that we worked in was beautiful. And I liked that as well. It was all the work was really intimate, and all those were like intense scenes and lots of fun. We all had to wear sweaters inside. And I know we talk about this on Hallmark for Christmas, but this is what the actors all felt on this one. We're like, wait a minute now. This is not Christmas. Why are we all wearing jumpers? And every day my sweater got bigger. Like there was a sweater, and then I had Angora, and we're inside, and that was.
And it was particularly unseasonably warm when we were shooting. Like,
for Scotland, you kept saying that. You're like, it's so hot. It's so hot
Most
right now.
people, I think, who are not Scottish assume that Scotland is quite a cold country and wet, and which it is
Yeah,
usually. But it was so warm. But of course, the costume, I'm in wax jackets. But this, remember the thick sweater? I was well just wearing a full
I
sheet
know.
on me. I was just picking up. It was so warm. There
Here's
was
what I
one
said.
scene.
All the way up to
The, yeah, keep that. The one scene with Juliet. I don't think you were there. Um, Jenny, the producer, had to had people in standby. She thought I was going to collapse. I was that warm because it
yeah.
was inside. It was obviously all the lights are on. I had this sweater. It was 29 degrees outside. I've got the big thick woolly jacket over it, and I'm just concentrating on not sweating. That's all I'm thinking. Like makeup keep coming in, powder. There's not enough powder in the world to dry this forehead in that scene. It was intense.
Oh dear. Those
Yeah.
are always little bits and bobs. But there were so many beautiful places that we were in a village and on that cool bridge.
Oh, the
And it was
bridge
very
was
romantic. And all the viewers are going to be able to like sit in there and watch it and be like, I'm going to go there and fall in love too.
yeah.
It's true.
Haddington in Scotland, lovely little town, lovely town.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Our characters both share special bonds with our own mothers. What are the special characteristics that we look at in our own mothers or that relationship that we love?
Well, I think Logan lost his father. I can't remember. It was 15 years. It's quite a while ago. Maybe not as long as that. And his father ran the family business, and then his mother took over. So she single-handedly, with 3 young sons, took over family business, and then
Yeah.
he takes that burden on when she retires, and all he wants to do is make her proud. He just wants, and I love that bond of all the stress, all the business angst that goes with it, is because he wants to make her proud, and not through expectation that she's forcing on him. It's just through his own desire, his own want to, and I think that's a lovely thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the character between Lily and Kat is interesting because they're very, very different people, but they're there for each other. And I think their differences help balance the other person out. And sometimes there's a little bit of a blurred line into who's the mom and who's the kid in the relationship, which happens in a lot of mother-daughter relationships. And then,
Yeah.
of course, interestingly, in this show, Kat herself is kind of contemplating, like, how can I be the mother in this? How can I best love my daughter? And she's trying to figure out, how can I best love my mother? But they come from such wildly different perspectives as human beings, because I think they're very, very, very different. And for Lily's sake, I think Kat brings out that spontaneous love for life, and that last, like, be in the moment, enjoy it, be a kid, like, because she was still such a kid, like she was so innocent and excited about every little thing. And I think without that influence, I think that Lily would have just kind of perhaps even gotten a little bit sadder, or a little bit more kind of stuck in the idea
Yeah.
that she's supposed to do. And so her mom kind of going through what she went through and like talking to her about all those things and just showing this zest for life was a really, really great quality that I think was good for Lily.
Lily and Kate's relationship is hugely integral to the whole movie. It's not just about Logan and Lily. Obviously, and there's a lot of depth, a lot of pathos there, and important stuff. I think a lot of, if not the vast majority of viewers, will resonate with that.
And that's what I like about this movie as well. Like, right, you've got the general love between that you sometimes see still, like, just between the two characters, like, that are falling in love and that sort of thing. But then you've got generational love. You've got, parents and siblings and father son, the relationship with your son, and how you heal it and how you work on it, and the way you see that maybe something wasn't working and you were doing your best, and you go in and you say it's okay. And it's a whole family dynamic. And so then whoever's watching it can look at that and go, okay, generally this is about hope and love and learning to journey with each other.
Yeah.
And so there's something in it for everybody that's watching it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And compromising as well. I think everyone compromises for each other, I think, and
Yeah.
that's a really important lesson.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Next question.
Is it last?
No, we're at 8.
We're at 8. So
8, sir.
during Lily's trip, she encounters a few challenging situations. Without giving too much away, why do we think viewers will connect with her journey as she rediscovers herself? Ooh.
Jordan, can you repeat the question?
Yes, as much for myself.
I was like, I think I've answered it before, but I could give something new and fun if I hear it again. I feel like I'm in Jeopardy. Could you repeat the question? Okay.
During Lily's trip, she encounters a few challenging situations. Without giving too much away, why do we think viewers will connect with her journey as she rediscovers herself?
We never know how much strength that we have as human being until we're forced into things we're very uncomfortable with. And so for her, whether it's starting out what it feels like on her own, she's got her little adventure plan. She's got a little plan of this is the way my adventure is going to go. This is the way my life's going to look now. And then there's a hiccup. And then she has to face that, and there's no getting past that. And how do you grow? How do you sit in the space of the thing that's happened to you and see how you're going to move forward?
Yeah,
and so I think you see a depth of character to her that maybe is just kind of two-dimensional at first, and then of course, you're faced with something that that is a real challenge. And it's just like, wait, it's a stop sign. It interrupted my plans in a way. And then also, reminded me about some of life's most difficult experiences that we're all going to go through. And ultimately finding that leaning on other people, letting other people love you, living in the moment, all of those things are what's so important about surviving as a human being. So
yeah,
something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's probably the best answer of the night, I would say. Well done, you.
Thank you for your affirmation.
Wow. Not only did Mick pull a hair out your head, but you just gave that answer. It
was such a stressful moment. But hopefully, yeah. Life isn't perfect. And I think that that's why people, they're looking to connect to something that also shows not only the balance of hope and joy and lightness and how we can conquer things, because our world is very tricky and stressful, and also kind of really sink into those things that we realize, oh, life isn't perfect. And in this person's life that looked all perfect, this went wrong and this went wrong and this went wrong and this went wrong. And they realized it was wrong. They didn't pretend it was right, but they rallied, and they rallied usually with the support of some person, something, some activity, a dream, anything. It doesn't have to be one thing. And I think that people will see that, relate to it, and hopefully it'll encourage them.
And adapt. Everyone, if you can adapt to the situation. I mean, that's probably just stealing the words out your mouth.
No, not at all. I didn't even do that.
But it isn't. And when you are faced with such horrendous circumstances, how do you adapt? Do you give in, or do you change, and do you take those circumstances and figure out how to? I'm just probably trying to steal your answer.
No, not at all, because each character does that, right? Jordan comes in and he's dealing with some things in his life, and his mother Juliet is dealing with some things, and they're all managing what is real life, which is some ups and some downs and some things that seem mundane, but what they have is each other, and they have their dreams. And they keep going.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Good answer.
We put flowers on our walls.
Or
that make no sense except for to us.
Big clocks.
Or clocks. To really tell you you're late.
Yeah. Whoa.
Are you a structured individual, Jordan? I've got flowers and Starry Night and no clocks.
I'm going to adapt. I'm going to take that clock down as soon as
Start putting up some wall decals. You'll see. You'll feel better. Okay, where are we going? Let's see. Ooh. We're going to wrap things up with our rapid fire game, which I love. It is going to be inspired by our Scottish Love Scheme. It's called This or That. the audience is familiar with that bit of fun. So, okay, we're gonna take turns. I'll do the first one.
Right.
Do
Okay.
we want to launch a marketing campaign or run a family business?
Family business. Yes. Family business. Love my family. Keep it in the family. Family business.
Marketing campaign. I think I would be too stressed out. I care way too much about my family. In a weird, sacrificial, kind of not healthy way. So if I can keep it not personal, I think I'd do better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, wine tasting or whiskey tasting?
You and I are going to say the same thing about
Whiskey.
Whiskey. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I think I have an allergy to like ferment the wine or something in the wine. So it would just make me sleepy and it's no fun. But whiskey, hey, I'm from Alberta. So whiskey, vodka, I can go for a while with that.
And also this movie is a love affair with whiskey also.
Sure.
You know, yeah. in a very responsible way, I hasten to add.
In a very responsible way. Also, yes. But I would definitely do whiskey tasting because I'm like lots of fun. And then all of a sudden I get really tired and I go to sleep. But at least I last longer than wine.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 2 types of wine. Great.
Yeah. Red or white, whereas we've got thousands of different whiskey. There you go.
Yeah. Also, I think the atmosphere around it would be more fun.
Yeah.
I imagine it in a cool bar. Okay. This is yours to do.
Right. New Year's resolution or create a vision board?
New Year's resolution.
Same.
Vision boards are hard. You have to be very like detailed and pragmatic. Yeah. And I like to just sit at the end of the year, think of the things that have been traumatic or horrible or train wrecks, the things that have been good. And then I like basically think of 2 or 3 words that are going to be my thing for the next year.
Yeah. Well,
and I try to get on some diet. That lasts for like 4 days.
3rd of January.
I'm like back to coffee and barely eating and then binging on chips. Like every other woman on the planet. Okay.
I have got a notebook that's probably like 15 years old now that I write lots of stuff in it, but it's always in January I'll write what do I want to achieve. And it's not big detailed. It could be one line, it could be one word, it could be a couple of words. It's just a little vision thing of going, right, that's what I want to do. So that's my kind of New Year resolution thing.
Nice. I did do some journaling the other night for about 5 minutes. And it was pretty great.
Yeah.
I did not stay consistent. Let's try it again tonight. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's also not organized. I've got like the list. And then all of a sudden on the other side, I'm like, I'm so mad because blah, 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 blah. So it's like 2 different journals at once. It's not even like rational, but that's
good to get it out though. It's good to get it out.
Good to get it out. And I might as well at this stage in my life, accept that I'm not always that rational. And that's okay. So folks out there, as long as you're not damaging other human beings, it's okay to just be you.
Yeah.
You don't have to be rational or care about clocks and time like Jordan. You can like big blue flowers.
There we go.
Somehow I'm digging you. I don't know. Okay. Oh, this is tricky. Scotland or Spain?
It's Scotland.
Yeah. Scotland. But Spain, when it's kind of dreary.
Like
I've got
Scotland.
in my life, I'm ready to leave Vancouver because it's rainy here. So I don't know if I could do like full year Scotland.
Yeah. Well, I love.
But you live there, so tell me.
I love the heat. I love going away, getting some sun, all that. But I'm a bit of a home bird. Whenever I've been overseas, I always miss home. And I always, even if it's a 10-day break or 2 weeks, whatever it is, I get to the final day and I really, really look forward to home. I love Scotland. I think it's an amazing country. It's an amazing country.
It's very magical there. You know, the 3 weeks that I was there or 4 weeks that I was there.
Yeah.
I talk about the solo walks, but I go for these long, long, long walks and they were awesome. They were great. I mean, sometimes people drive by and they'd be like, who's that weird lady just crying on my walk?
I'm working like Jordan Young. I don't like him anymore.
No, I was just like, it's alone, it's haunting, it's moody. there was this little forest that I went through, like that was around the place I was staying, and I got lost in all the period pieces I watched. So it started great because I was like, this is just like Pride and Prejudice during the, when they're in their little carriage going home. And I was like, yeah. And then I got going, or it's like Braveheart. Oh no. And then I was like, what about all the ghosty dead people that are going to come out of the, it was late at night. It wasn't smart of me to do, but I ran through the rest of the forest.
Yeah.
And then down a farmer's field. Also, what is that? The law, it's something you can ramble. And I was surprised about that. Over there, you can ramble through people's land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or did they just tell me that as a silly foreigner?
Well, I think I don't know what the law is, but
something
I think,
to roam, like you can, I forget it. It's like a thing where you can roam around.
yeah, you can.
Like step through into their world, like into their fields and walk through it if you need to.
You can, yeah, you can walk over fields. I'm sure the odd farmer may get annoyed, but yeah.
It shocked me because I have family in the States and you wouldn't put a toe on someone's land.
Right, okay.
You wouldn't do it.
We're less territorial. Yeah, we're less.
That's safe. Okay, yours is the next one.
Right. Travel with family or take a solo trip?
Oof. I'm like trying not to say the thing that makes me seem like a jerk. I want to go somewhere alone. Deeply. I mean, I want to go places with my kids, and I want to go to Europe with my kids. I want them to be a bit older.
Yeah.
Because when you have kids, you just take whatever it is you have to do with them there, and then you move it somewhere else where you have no access to the things you had at home.
Yep.
And it's jet laggy, and
Yeah, because kids like city breaks. Kids don't like city breaks. Kids don't want to go and see culture, do they? But some kids,
right? Like to a point, though. But then they'll be like, "Okay, I've looked at this painting. Yay!" You know, you have to kind of force culture on them. I love my children, by the way, everyone. I love my children, but I really do want to do a solo trip, or solo, but not solo. Like I think people were laughing at me the other day because I said I want to get on one of those buses with like senior citizens and go on one of those trips. I think I could learn a lot. I like senior citizens. They're fun. They got good stories. And the trips looked already booked and easy. So I was like, and they're like, what is wrong with you?
I give you 5 hours, then you're like, nah, I want to get off the bus now.
Okay. Because I feel like I'm like 100. So I think I'd enjoy it. Just sitting on a bus with a bunch of folks chatting about life.
I would say family trip for me.
Yeah.
I'm
better answer.
I'm not. It's not. No, it's not. It's a different answer. Let's not say that it's better. Let's just say different. But I'm a family man. Erica's not.
I'm not a family man. I'm not a family man.
Family woman. I get quite bored of my own company.
Okay.
Would
your wife like a solo trip?
I think often. I think on a daily basis that goes through her mind. Can't imagine why, but actually,
Wait a minute. He texts me later.
I enjoy my own company for a spell, but I think if I'm going away somewhere and discovering it, part of the fun is to talk about it. I think, and to go look at that, wow. Whereas if I'm on my own, I'm like,
there is something to that. Maybe that should be the type of trip you go on too.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Or maybe I should learn to love my own company more.
Maybe
see, it's a learning journey, this, isn't
it? Can you sit with yourself?
Yeah.
That's the thing that's being floated around now. Can you sit in it, in your emotion? Can you? I'm a brat. Okay.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. No.
I think that I've talked a lot, and I think we've given a lot of fun information to people.
Yep.
We can kind of wrap things up, I think.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you would like to share?
Not other than I get bored with my own company.
Yeah. Okay. You're going to get like tons of like notes on your Instagram. Just be like, people like, listen, Jordan.
I'm bored of you too.
Okay, okay. So, everybody, thank you for joining us and look forward to you watching the premiere of our new movie, A Scottish Love Scheme. You want to
Tune
tell
in.
everybody what it is?
I'll tune in this Saturday, January 13th on 8, 7 Central on Hallmark Channel.
And you can tweet along with us using hashtag A Scottish Love Scheme. Come and watch our show.
Please do. Enjoy it.